Hi Ganesh, good evening.
Good evening, Narasimhan sir.
Very good to talk to you. And this is the first edition of our CLIMAFIX Tick Talk. The idea being we are going to have short conversations with folks who are doing something very interesting in the field of climate action, climate innovation. And we are going to have focused questions which are being answered for about 5 minutes. The idea is to have short conversations but around focused topics. I am Narasimhan Santhanam. I am the co-founder of EAI, Energy Alternatives India, climate tech consulting firm, as well as we are organizing a CLIMAFIX Summit 2022, which is a pretty large summit for the climate tech innovation and startup ecosystem on November 25 and 26, 2022, along with IIT Madras. So I'm going to quickly zoom to the topic. I have with me Ganesh Shankar. He's the co-founder of SusMafia, a very interesting organization which he has put together along with some like-minded folks. And the idea is for SusMafia to look at the climate startups, climate innovation ecosystem in the country, sustainability climate ecosystem in the country, and see how best they can, as a bridge between all of them, accelerate the entire climate action through innovation. So that's what SusMafia is. We can get to know more about them from SusMafia website, but I'm going to spend a lot more time with them in the next 5 minutes or so in trying to get him to answer a very specific question. In spite of all the good news that we have in India about startups, we probably are ranked number 3 in the world when it comes to the overall startup ecosystem. When it comes to climate action, as a consulting firm, what we see is that there is a lot of brains, there is a lot of innovation, but when it comes to all these startups and innovations from the climate tech sector, resulting in something very tangible in terms of decarbonization results, I'm not seeing a lot of that. In other words, Ganesh, my question to you is, what do you think needs to be fixed for the climate tech innovation and startup ecosystem in India?
So today, sustainability, to be honest, for various organizations is a pipe dream. They really don't have a plan on how to execute these projects and how to achieve net zero or overall sustainability goals. But however, there are a lot of startups across the country and across the globe doing a really great job. Today, we don't really see how these startups and innovative companies getting access to these industries which have ambition to achieve net zero or sustainable goals. So that is a big problem today. We don't know where are these startups and how are they solving this thing. So I think just like how startups are risk-taking, even industries has to be risk-taking in giving opportunities to startups to solve this problem of climate action and sustainability. That's how I think is one of the gap, in my opinion. If industries take that risk in giving opportunities to these startups to solve their climate agenda, I think we will not see this problem in for long.
So just to put it in my words, what you said, essentially industries need to decarbonize in India, and they need these innovations and startups efforts to get there. But for some reason, they are not moving at the pace. The industries in India, the large guys in the country, are not moving at the pace to absorb and adopt and implement the solutions from the innovations, the solutions from the startups for decarbonization. Is that essentially the gap that you see right now?
Absolutely. I think the solutions exist, and of course it's fairly, I mean, it requires some level of maturity, but if you don't groom them, if you don't give opportunity, if you don't nurture them with opportunity across the facilities in the various locations, how would you even see this achievement of this goal? So that's what is I would add.
I'm going to ask 2 specific questions and ask you how SusMafia is trying to overcome these challenges or the questions that I have in the context that you mentioned. One is, for the industry, if I'm the industry guy, For me, firstly, today, it is not easy to figure out what is the right solution for the decarbonization solution I'm looking at, decarbonization domain I'm looking at, because while there are some plug and play solutions like solar PV, most others are evolving. So for me, the first is to figure out what kind of solution is there, who should I approach? And the second is, okay, how do I know that the solution will work properly in the long term? Because all these are fairly new. So if I wear the industry honcho's cap, these are the challenges I have. How would somebody like SusMafia, along with your founders and along with your support, along with your stakeholders, try to overcome these two challenges? These are real life challenges for any industry.
So today, sustainability is not the default choice, right? There are age-old solutions, prehistoric ways for solving all kinds of problems. So basically, we are against unsustainable guys, right? I mean, so you have to prove the functionality, reproducibility, endurance with the same level of the existing solution, which unfortunately are not sustainable. So obviously, we need to understand that in order to make sustainability the default choice, you have to start giving these pilot opportunity at various levels and see how these solutions can fare as good as or even better than the existing unsustainable solution. So this is possible when you have innovators coming in. As you know, big organizations have their own inertia to move fast, right? On the other hand, startups work at lightning speed, right? That's where actually startups can actually move very fast and make sure that these new solutions, which are sustainable, which are for the future, can actually be driving the force forward. And what we believe in Sustainability Mafia is, SusMafia, is to make sustain the default choice. And how do we do that is when you multiply the impact of sustainability leaders through a goal-oriented collaboration, then you have a chance to make sure that the solution actually replaces the incumbent unsustainable solution. I'll just give you an example. There's a hospital in Coimbatore, which is very conscious. They understand climate change. They wanted to improve their energy efficiency, and one of our members, Smart Joules, they implemented their solution to ensure that their energy required to run the operation reduced significantly. They had their financial return on investment. They were able to reduce their emission. They were able to achieve all their carbon targets. Immediately, they reached out to Arjun and said, now that we have done energy, we want to do something in water, waste, and other sectors. Immediately, Arjun came to us, sir. I mean, he said, we have SusMafia, we have solutions in all this respect. And he introduced me. We are into water management, and we pitched our solution. Immediately, we were able to get an opportunity to deploy our solution. By the time we got the opportunity to deploy the solution, COVID hit the world. This was March 2020. But fortunately, we had a member in Coimbatore who took our solution all the way there. We couriered our solution. They were able to deploy our solution with their technician, and they were able to reduce water consumption significantly. I mean, and they got achieved their water targets, and they were able to get financial return on investment. And they even got the CII National Water Award. So all this thing was possible because we are a consortium of solution providers working together. They were not able to find somebody like us on their own because we are also a small organization. We were not able to show our presence everywhere. And that's how we were able to working together to help achieve these sustainability goals. Now the hospital is also achieving other waste management, other goals as well through this consortium.
Very interesting. So in this use case that you mentioned, there were two challenges. One is for the hospital, they had to take the first step, even though they were sustainability minded. The first step was taken with somebody like Smart Joules, who had a probably fairly well-known solution. They were fairly prominent. But once the customer got more confidence in implementing a solution, he wanted to go to the next step. And there, the fact that you guys had a network, you had a consortium, helped, because the word of mouth, when a customer hears from a successful solution provider a referral, he is quite confident of trying the other one as well. So I think here it's a question of, as you rightly said, enabling customers to take the first step somehow. It could be a small pilot, or it could be it could be a project which is in a fairly easy to understand area, and then use your network to either scale that solution to many places, or use your network so that that customer can access other types of solutions that are being offered by a network. I think it's a pretty practical way to proceed, as you just pointed out for your customer. The last question I have is, I can see how we can take it to multiple places. But the last question I have is, you have a number of members in SusMafia. You have almost 60 members who are active members, startup members, etc. How do you see very new concepts, right? Very, shall we say, very early stage concepts? How do you see your team able to nurture them? Because even for the industries, they will not be able to absorb them right now. So is it just left to the venture capital, or the venture capital firms who are willing to take early bets, or are there ways that SusMafia would like to play a role in nurturing them, getting them pilots, getting them exposed to the industrial customers fairly quickly? Have you guys thought about it? That's my last question to you.
Sure, sir. We have multiple avenues to collaborate in SusMafia. One of the things is we do something like Sus Talk, where we talk about our solution and we look for collaboration through the talk. It's a very objective-oriented webinar where we look for collaboration through that. And then we have something like Carbon Date, where we actually date potential customers, potential investors, potential other service providers, and do cross-pollination, and examples of this hospital like that happen in plenty. And we also have something called Sus Trust, where as an entrepreneur, we also have our own problems in running a company. We learn from each other. So that kind of cross-pollination happen in a closed room discussion, where we tell how we are building our company and get ideas from all our other members. And we, of course, also have something called as Sus Shot. Sus Shot is where we have an idea in a very early stage. We have incubated the idea. We want to take it to the market. And we actually present this idea and then take everybody's idea, everybody's thought. Because we are all in sustainability area, we can think beyond our own product and our own solution, because we have such exposure through events like CLIMAFIX and various things, right? So we end up sharing this information and help them fine-tune the solution even before taking it to the market. That way they get early understanding, not just to build towards building the right product market fit. And there are occasions where within our members, they have invested on other startups. Within SusMafia, they have done seed funding. There are some companies which have got Series B, Series A, various rounds. So some of them are in a position to invest on this early stage startup. So we've been able to collaborate in various ways to actually help our members in all aspects, whether it is financial leverage or network leverage, visibility, or even storytelling. So these are some examples on how our members have been able to work with each other to grow their respective impact and business.
Very interesting. Thank you very much. One last request. If I were to ask you to tell not more than 10 words, your suggestion to a startup or a wannabe startup in climate tech, what would it be?
So I think they should get exposure to what is happening in the world. And in my opinion, they should attend events like CLIMAFIX so that they clearly know what's going on. They can meet the investors, they can meet the customers, they can meet a lot of audience for their solution. This way they can course correct their solution in right time. That would be my immediate solution on top of my head.
So early exposure to what's going on and early connections with the right guys.
Yes, that would speed fast things.
Perfect. And thank you very much for promoting CLIMAFIX along the way.
So thank you so much. I'm very excited to the event, and all the very best. And this is one of the best events I've come across so far, and I'm so eager to attend it.
Oh, I'm looking forward to meeting you and many more bright guys like you over there. Thank you very much, Ganesh. All the very best.
Thank you, sir. Thanks so much. All the very best to you too.
Thank you.